and welcome back to the Book Jumper. My name is Shanice and this is my January TBR. Now I'm doing like a full-on video for this TBR mainly because there are going to be 31 books for this TBR. I am doing a challenge every month this year and this just so happens that this challenge is to read 31 books in 31 days. So here we go. I'll be showing you briefly what all these books are and then I'll be reading them obviously this month. So let's get started. Book number 1, To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. So I saw this on TikTok and decided that I wanted to buy it and I still haven't had a chance to read it. So yeah. It has 358 pages in this book, and so I'm hoping this will be a good small read to like just to get the numbers. I know it sounds bad, but like just to get the number up so I can get to 31 because a few of these books are like big books. So, but is it just a small read that if I decide that I just want to make sure I get a book really quickly, it would be good to do. So there's that one. Next is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. Now, I have seen this a little bit on TikTok for the last couple of weeks and I kind of bought it on a whim and I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to buy this. I'm actually going to read this. So this is part of the TBR. This is book number 2. The next book I've got is Midnight's Twins by Holly Race. Now I found this at the bookshop and thought it looked cute, so I grabbed it. And I've been meaning to read this for a couple weeks now, and I just went, you know what, I'm going to add it to January's TBR, and we're going to get this smashed and read out of the way. This is really starting to sound bad. I'm really sorry. The next book we're going to have is Ever Cursed by Keighery and Haydu. I saw this at the bookstore and again thought the cover looked pretty and so I decided to buy it. But it's also another smallish book. It's only got just under 300 pages, so this should be a good one just to read if I'm in a little bit of a slump this month with the fact that I have to read. I'm decided to read really big books, which I'll be showing next. The next books I'm going to read is the Inkheart series. Now I have watched the Inkheart movie and I'm in love with it and I'm hoping the book is even better. According to my sister, it is. She's read all 3 books, which I have currently here. They just got really cute covers. Like, look at that one. That's Inkheart. Then we've got Inkspell. And then we've got Inkdeath. So, those are on the next books to read. So, this is book 5, 6, and 7. Book number 8 is Between the Lines by Jodi and Samantha Leigh. Now they are mother and daughter and this book is an all-time favourite of mine and I've been meaning to reread it for a little while, so it's on my list. Book number 9 is Sherwood by Meagan. Now this book I literally saw a couple days ago at the bookstore. I went to the bookstore for the second time just to film a little bit of the bookstore and I saw this. I saw this name, I saw Spooner, and I went, I have to get that book. I have read Hunted by the same author, and that one was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. This one is a Robin Hood retelling, and I'm just like, I'm so excited to read this. The next books I've got on my TBR for this month coming is the Jewel series by Amy Ewing. This will be a reread. I've been trying to reread these for a couple of months now, but I've just kept getting other books that I've just gone, yeah, you know what, I'm going to read that one. So I have read these before, but I've only read them once and I would love to, again, like, enjoy this series. So, yes. If anyone actually knows where hardcovers of these books are, I would love to know because I really want some hardcovers of these ones. Okay, and the next trilogy that I've got on my list, I've got a couple of trilogies this month, it seems to be, is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I am a bit excited for these. I bought this one about a month ago. I got them in the mail and I was so excited that I put them on my shelf and then completely forgot that I had them. But I've been meaning to read these because they're going to be made, like, is it a TV show or a movie on Netflix? And I'm so excited to, I love book to movie and TV show adaptations, and so I thought I better read these really quickly so I can watch it with already knowing kind of what's going to happen and seeing how they do it and then interpret it their own way. So that's that one. Next one. The next book on my TBR is Whisper by Chrissie. Keighery. I am so sorry. I'm not very good with names, so I did not pronounce that correctly. But this book, I actually had read this one when I first got into reading. It was in my school library, and this was a book that I hunted down for years to find a physical copy of it because I love this book so much that I had to buy it. I literally spent about 4 years finding a copy of this, and I finally found one on Amazon, and it was because this book's actually out of print. They're not printing anymore, and I'm really upset, but love it. So that's on my TBR. Okay, the next trilogy I've got on my TBR is the Ash Princess trilogy. I seem to be liking trilogies this month, so I am going to be reading all of these ones. And I saw Jesse the Reader. He did a 24-hour reading challenge, and he read all 3 of these books in that, and he absolutely loved it, and I knew that I had to get them, and so I finally got them, and now I'm going to read them. So those are those ones. The next books I'm going to read are The Evil Queen and The Glass Queen by Gena Showalter. Now by now, I'm in love with fairy tale retellings, and so these ones are just, I can't wait to read them. Snow White retelling and a Cinderella retelling. I seem to be reading a lot of Cinderella retellings at the moment, which I'm okay with because I love it. So yeah, those are those 2. The next one on my TBR is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I am so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I actually have started reading this book, if there's a bookmark somewhere there. This was part of my, I think, November TBR, and I started reading it. I put it down somewhere and I couldn't find it for like 3 weeks, and I finally found it, but I already had planned my books for December, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So I'll probably reread this book for this month anyway. I'll restart it so I actually remember what's happened, but that's that one. Next on the TBR, we've got Harley in the Sky, and we've got Starfish by Acme Dawn Bowman. I am so sorry if I pronounced your first name wrong. So I've got these 2 books. I found them, like I say, I found these actually in a bookshop. I was really sad that one day and I bought them because they looked really pretty. Oh my god, they tell you not to judge a book by its cover, but I did that. But I absolutely love this cover. I think it's one of the most beautiful paperback covers I've actually owned. I love the starfishes and the jellyfish. It just seems to be beautiful. I love it. So there's 2 on my TBR. The next book I've got is Nevernight by Christo. Now I've heard a few things about this, and I believe it's actually part of a series, but unfortunately I've only got the first book. So we're gonna see if I enjoy it, and then we'll most likely buy the rest of the books, which is actually very surprising for me that I didn't actually buy the rest of the books before reading, because I seem to have a habit of doing that. But there's that book. The next book I've got is Haven Fall by Sarah Holden. I started reading this book similar to the same story with Sorcery of Thorns. I started reading this book, put it down, and I couldn't find it for a little while. So I have started reading it. It's only a couple chapters in, so I'll probably reread this book, the first couple chapters again. So we'll see how that one goes. The next book that I'm going to read is All the Stars and Teeth. Again, another book that I have started. Though this book, I kind of, at the time, it just didn't, intrigued me, but it didn't intrigue me enough to continue reading it. I feel like there's a few of those books that's happened, but I'm hoping the second time around it will be a little bit better mentally, and I might be able to enjoy it a little bit more. So there's that one. The next book I'm going to read is Thorn by Insta. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that lovely person's name. So this book, it seems to be about like a princess. It says 1 princess, 2 fates, and then a possible choice. And again, with the whole pretty cover thing, I found this in a bookstore, thought it was pretty, and decided to buy it. So that's that one. So I've actually never read the back of the cover, so I really have no idea about that one. And then the last 3 books on my 31 books in 31 days is the Cruel Prince trilogy by Holly Black. Oh, actually it's called the Folk of the Air trilogy, I should get that right. But the Cruel Prince. I kept saying it, this one, similar to A Court of Thorns and Roses, like I kept on seeing that on my For You page until I read it. This one seems to be the latest one, so now I'm kind of like, maybe I have to read it, but got all 3, and I kept on seeing people who had the first 2 and then the third one was like massive, so I'm kind of glad that I got in a box set so that I don't have to worry about that. Though I did buy like the 4th book, or like the prequel or whatever it was, and it's like tall, and I'm like, why did I do that? But it looked pretty, so I bought it. Yeah, so those are my 31 books that I will be reading for the next 31 days, and I'm hoping I can get all of them done, because that's the idea of a challenge, is to set the bar really high and then try to make the get up there. So we're gonna see. I haven't decided which book I'm going to start with first. I'm thinking I might start with one of my trilogies, probably the Ash Princess or the Cruel Prince. Thank you all for watching. Again, my name is Shanice, and thank you for watching the Book Jumbo. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, bye!